The fortune teller said there was a good luck charm in our household who'd bring prosperity to those around them and surely become valedictorian someday. But he left without specifying who it was. Ed and Olivia gleefully scooped up their precious daughter Stella, covering her with kisses and praises while forgetting me outside the gate. Little did they know I was the actual blessed one, because I'd lived this life before. Without me, their entire world would crumble. I stomped my frozen feet on the ground, blowing warm breath over my raw, swollen hands. With downcast eyes, I kicked over the red basin. Soaking wet clothes and icy water flooded the yard. Olivia stormed out, trembling with rage. "Are you blind? Can't even handle simple chores?" I met her glare. "If you've got eyes, why don't you try washing them yourself?" Stella emerged wrapped in a puffer coat, clutching a steaming sweet potato. She gasped at the muddy garments. "Sylvia, those were my school clothes." Her breath formed frosty clouds in the bitter December air. There I stood in threadbare layers, scrubbing laundry in sub-zero temperatures while the golden child lounged indoors with central heating and snacks. Ed scowled. "Doesn't matter. She won't be here much longer." Olivia drew herself up imperiously. "We've arranged with your uncle. Pack your things, Ryan's picking you up tonight." Stella giggled. "Bye-bye, parasite." "Gladly." Their jaws dropped as I marched past them to gather my belongings. Stella opened her mouth, probably expecting desperate pleas to stay. But she didn't understand. I'd already endured lifetimes of begging. Last time, they'd discarded me at 7 because newborn Stella threw tantrums about sharing attention. Without my balancing presence, the Smith family descended into chaos, constant illnesses, financial ruin. They only retrieved me years later to become Stella's personal servant, stealing my vitality to offset her cursed energy. When some charlatan declared their home contained a blessing, their fortunes reversed overnight. The shack became a proper house. Bicycles upgraded to cars. They credited Stella while shipping me back to Uncle Ryan's. My final life ended at 18, drowned after failing college exams. My stolen luck sustaining Stella's charmed existence. Now, Ryan pedaled through the snowstorm, icicles clinging to his eyebrows. Aunt Olivia waited anxiously outside their modest home. "Sylvia." She engulfed me in a hug. "Your skin and bones. This is your home now." Ryan rubbed his frostbitten hands. "We'll celebrate properly when Liam gets back." I squeezed Olivia's work-roughened palms. "You've always been my true family. Last timeline taught me this truth. Blood means nothing when destiny demands sacrifice. Let the Smiths keep their cursed princess. Soon enough, they'd learn what happens when karma collects its debt." My uncle's family wasn't well off. He worked construction all day while my aunt pulled double shifts at the factory. After failing the college entrance exams, I took odd jobs to avoid burdening them. Though it was my aunt who first found me when I accidentally fell into the river. Not even my biological parents claimed my body, though she treated me kindly. My ingrained insecurity made me believe she secretly despised me. This time, I'll repay her properly. The classroom fell silent as I entered. I pressed my lips together and headed toward my seat. But Stella blocked my path with her lackeys. "What's the hurry, Sylvia?" she sneered, shoving me. "You're like a rat scurrying in the streets, unwanted by anyone." Whispers erupted around us. Sylvia got kicked out of the Johnson family. Her uncle came on that rusty bicycle during the snowstorm. No wonder they disowned the jinx. Pathetic. Just like her relatives. I cocked an eyebrow at the loudest gossiper. "Your father's Mercedes never showed up for parent-teacher conferences either. At least my family tries." "You've got nothing but a sewage-spewing mouth." The girl paled, unaccustomed to my defiance. Stella positioned herself as the mediator. "How dare you? Jinx. We tolerate your presence here out of pity." Her performance sickened me, this sanctimonious act while collecting tuition money for my seat in this classroom. This daily barrage of abuse. Ignoring her, I retrieved my textbook. Humiliated, Stella snatched it and threw it across the floor. "What's the point? You'll always be last place." The fortune teller said I'm destined to be valedictorian. The slap echoed before I registered, moving my hand. Gasps filled the room. Delusional much? I'm last place. But you're the perpetual runner-up. Stop preening like a peacock. Her face flushed crimson. Say that again. I dusted off my book. Which part? The runner-up status? Or the peacock impression? She lunged at my face, always the face. Her eternal insecurity. We both struggled academically. But while I earned the dumb beauty label through effort, Stella's repeated grade retention proved her limitations. The memory of junior high surfaced, Stella's crush rejecting her with look in the mirror. Then asking me out. The boiling water she threw at me afterward. The high school campaign branding me a curse while she basked in good fortune. Unaware her followers benefited from my proximity. Teachers arrived. Slamming books on desks. Fighting again? Take your family drama elsewhere. She hit me. Stella sniffled, clutching her cheek. The teacher massaged her temples. Sylvia. She's your sister. Sort your issues off campus. Her gaze shifted to me. For your information, the last place student in our advanced class will swap with the top performer from general ed after finals. If you can't coexist, the unspoken contempt lingered, two academic liabilities cluttering her honor roll classroom. Stella preened. I'll definitely transfer out. The fortune teller promised I'll be valedictorian. Her sycophant whined. But what about us when you leave? The bell rang, cutting through the tension. I opened my battered textbook. Stella's envious glare burning into my profile. This time, everything would change. Exactly. We really missed you. She cleared her throat and raised her voice. Don't worry. I'll visit often. I watched her with amusement. What an idiot, such an embarrassment. Since leaving the Johnson family, studying had become surprisingly effortless. English vocabulary I'd struggled to memorize before now imprinted itself in my mind after a single glance. I avoided Stella like the plague before finals, terrified her bad luck charm might jinx me again. She mistook my avoidance for fear. During the exam, I finished my paper early and glanced over to see Stella rolling dice to pick answers. Pathetic, that's all she'd ever amount to. Post-exam, Stella boasted loudly, that test wasn't worth this valedictorian's effort. I snorted, since when did dice rolling equal academic excellence? Did she actually believe luck alone could grant perfect scores? Perched on a desk swinging her legs, she called out, Sylvia. How'd you do? Under her expectant gaze, I fed her the answer she craved. It was challenging. The classroom erupted in laughter. Of course it's hard for the class dunce. Face it, you're remedial class material forever. Stella preened, she's remedial trash. But I'm born under a lucky star. I stopped before her, tilting my head. I'll wish you luck then. Ryan waited at the school gates afterward, ears red from cold. Spotting me, he waved urgently, let's go home. Sis. I shoved my earmuffs onto him, scolding, you'd freeze to death waiting here. Worth it, our place is too far to walk. He wheeled out his bike, grinning over his shoulder. Hop on. The ride home filled me with warmth I'd never known at the Johnson mansion. You should have heard Aunt this morning. Ryan snorted, bragging about Stella acing exams like some town crier. Let her talk. But Stella's dumber than pig slop. A scream interrupted us. Ryan pedaled faster, only to brake hard when we recognized Stella flailing in a ditch. Help me up. You brats. She shrieked. My. I feigned concern. Did your eyes stop working? Sylvia. You little, Ryan's voice turned glacial, who are you calling little brat? You. Both of you. I laughed openly. Sorry. Little brat, dinner's waiting. As we rode off, I stuck out my tongue. Stella's enraged shouts followed us, I'll get you for this. On report card day, Stella limped in wearing the dress I'd hand-washed for her last year. Surrounded by sycophants. The expensive clothes couldn't hide her aura of impending doom, dark energy clung to her like funeral crepe. The homeroom teacher walked in holding the grade report, scanning the classroom. One student in our class has made remarkable progress this time. Stella unconsciously straightened her posture, her face glowing with smug anticipation. The most improved student is Sylvia, class valedictorian and top 20 in the entire grade. She's now eligible to transfer to the regular class. The room erupted in shocked expressions. Stella looked as if she'd bitten into a rotten egg, her complexion turning green. The coveted transfer spot from this remedial class, which everyone had assumed would go to the teacher's pet, had been snatched by the perpetual underdog. Stella was first to erupt. Impossible. She cheated. Her shrill voice cut through the murmurs. How could someone ranked last suddenly become first? This is absurd. Truthfully, the entire class shared her suspicion, including the teachers. The dean escorted me to his office for a retest. Crowds gathered outside the door. Stella pushed to the front, declaring loudly, "I bet my allowance she'll fail. She's always been sneaky, probably found some new way to cheat this time." When I finished the test, I locked eyes with her. Stella squirmed under my gaze, muttering, "What?" Everyone knows it's true. 3 teachers graded my exam simultaneously. Their expressions darkened as they reviewed the papers. Finally, the dean smiled. "Perfect score. Excellent work, Sylvia." Stella barged in, snatching the test. "Perfect. You switched the answers." Her finger jabbed accusingly at the dean. "You're covering for her." The dean's smile vanished. "Miss Smith, are you implying faculty misconduct?" I leaned back, enjoying the spectacle. "She can't even do basic algebra." Stella lunged wildly, but the homeroom teacher blocked her. "Enough. You're the one who ranked last this semester. Spend winter break studying instead of playing detective." Snickers erupted as Stella shriveled under the class's scorn. Her fists clenched white-knuckled at her sides. Walking home from holiday shopping with Ryan, I marveled at finally choosing my own snacks. Our modest means never stopped our parents from giving us the best. Wait. I froze on the sidewalk, lifting my foot. A leather wallet lay under my sneaker. Ryan parked his bike. "What's up?" "Found this." I handed him the bulging billfold. His brow furrowed. "That's serious cash. Let's take it to the precinct." I blinked, surprised. Growing up poor, I'd assumed everyone would pocket it. Turned out the owner was some big-shot businessman who insisted on rewarding us. Ryan hefted our grocery bag, grinning. "You've been on a lucky streak since joining our family, Sil." I clicked my tongue. They used to call me a walking curse. Total BS. Ryan bumped my shoulder. "Mom and Dad adore you." My throat tightened. I know. Home smelled of roasted chicken. We'd splurged on new coats for everyone with the reward money. Aunt nearly cried trying hers on. "Your uncle got promoted to foreman." She beamed. My raise came through too. Tomorrow we're all getting new outfits. The Christmas lights twinkled brighter than I remembered. Uncle looked troubled and sighed. I put down my chopsticks. "What's wrong, Uncle?" "Your mom's family has had incidents lately. Your sister first took an unexplained fall. Then our yellow dog killed the neighbor's chickens. Cost us a fortune in compensation." Aunt kicked him under the table, glaring. "Why bring this up? Serves them right anyway." I kept eating calmly, though inwardly delighted. Barely a week since I left, and their misfortunes piled up. All those years I'd shielded Stella from disasters in that house. She'd sailed through life while I stumbled. About time karma bit back. My new regular track classmates didn't believe in that jinx nonsense. Unlike my old remedial class where I'd been gossip fodder. Catching up on studies took time. My deskmate Olivia admired her compact mirror. "Sylvia, you're my lucky charm. My grades improved since we became partners. And look, my decade-long acne vanished." I examined her. True. Her formerly sallow, pockmarked skin now glowed porcelain smooth. Late bloomer glow up? I shrugged. She leaned closer. "Did you hear? Stella's having the worst streak. Got cornered by thugs in an alley last week. Police barely arrived in time." Now her clique's either burning up with fevers or losing wallets. Such bad luck, I remarked lightly. A passing classmate paused. Saw her at the water fountain earlier. Rambling about being some chosen valedictorian and human good luck charm. Olivia shivered. Principal will expel her by Friday. I excused myself. Of course. Stella intercepted me near the roof access. Her grip bruised my wrist as she dragged me upstairs. Bandages wrapped her forehead. Bruises modeling her arms. I laughed outright. Happy now? Sylvia? She spat. Memories flashed, parents threatening to abandon me as a child. My empty stomach growling while she feasted. Me crashing into ravines during her dares. Nearly drowning in rivers she forgot to warn me about. I smiled serenely. Ecstatic. Her fingers clawed at my throat. Eyes bloodshot. You shouldn't exist. You're the curse ruining everything. I flipped our positions. Kneeing her stomach. She crumpled. Gasping purple-faced as I loomed over her. Not the sharpest tool. Are you? Sis? Releasing her. I watched her scrabble for air. But chin up, you're still the prophesied valedictorian. Her eyes lit manically. Yes. I'm destined for greatness. I tucked a strand behind her ear. Absolutely. Walking home. Textbook in hand. I paused at our block's commotion. A disheveled man yanked Stella's arm. I'm your real father. Brat. I ducked behind a wall. Liar. Stella struggled. My father's Ed. The man slammed her against bricks. Straddling her. Ed my ass. I'm Liam. You'll take my name. Neighbors spectated. Muttering, Mrs. Johnson cheated? Knew she looked like a tramp at their wedding. I winced at the slap echoes. Karma worked fast. Look at how chaotic their household has been lately. A few days ago, Ed hit a kid with his car and had to pay a hefty settlement. Rumor has it his factory's about to go bankrupt too. Misfortune truly does strike in waves. Eventually Dad came home from work and intervened. He pulled Stella behind him. Demanding, how dare you lay hands on my daughter? The man mockingly raised his fist. Keep running your mouth and I'll beat you too. My father, always tough at home but meek outside, faced his first real challenger. Without another word, he dragged Stella home and locked the door. As twilight fell, the crowd dispersed. The man spat viciously. I'll take both you bitches back someday. I studied him intently, sensing events spiraling beyond my control. During midterms, I caught Stella sneaking out of the restroom. She started when she saw me. Who said you could be here? I shrugged. Last I checked, this wasn't your private bathroom. Guilty conscience? Realizing her overreaction, she scurried away like a kicked puppy. Having aced finals, I wasn't in her testing group this time. Results day found Stella crowing to everyone about her life-changing luck. Returning home, I found her house packed with banquet tables. The banner above the entrance read, "Celebrating our girls' top 10 finish." I snorted laughter. Aunt Olivia intercepted me at the door. Why are we here? I whispered as she dragged me inside. Your uncle pitted them, she said stiffly, but refused to come himself. She despised this family ever since finding me abandoned as a newborn, her act of mercy that saved me from freezing. Some busybody shouted. Throwing a banquet for exam scores? Just a cash grab. Others joined in, hiring caterers? Please. They're cooking themselves to save pennies. Embarrassing. I'd skip if we weren't related. The stripped-down interior told the story, missing furniture. Luxury car replaced by bicycles. Mrs. Wang spotted me in the corner. Sylvia. She asked mock-sweet. What rank did you get? Before I could answer, Aunt Olivia stroked my hair. Our Sylvia took first place. Such a bright, well-behaved girl. My birth mother emerged. Sneering. Bullshit. Aunt Olivia squared her shoulders. How can you treat your own flesh and blood this way? The woman smirked. She should be grateful I gave her life. I popped sunflower seeds, watching the drama unfold. Did I ask to be born? Stella jumped in, finger jabbing my face. You disrespectful brat. Her mother preened. My daughter's filial. Brilliant, destined for greatness. She'll support me in style. The room's polite chuckles died awkwardly. So you don't want me anymore? I asked quietly. She looked me up and down. Why would I? As Aunt Olivia squeezed my hand. I pulled paperwork from my backpack. Sign this then. The blood drained from her face reading family termination agreement. You said you didn't need me. So signing this estrangement agreement shouldn't be a problem. That way, if I get sick or in trouble later, it's none of your business. Aunt Olivia stared at me in shock, tugging at my sleeve as she whispered, Sylvia. Are you really? I gave her a reassuring look. Dad Ed emerged from the kitchen wearing an apron, brandishing a spatula when he saw the document in Mom's hands. You ungrateful brat. Think you can rebel now? Turning to Olivia, I said loudly. My recent hospital visits cost a fortune. Go get the medical bills from our place later. My parents should reimburse you. Olivia caught on immediately, nodding emphatically. Absolutely. This poor girl's health suffered so much living with you people. We've spent thousands on her treatments. Mom Olivia and Dad Ed bristled. Stella snapped. Nobody asked you to take her. Why should we pay? Legally, they're still her parents. I shrugged. If they refuse, Uncle Liam could always sue them for parental neglect. Their faces turned ashen, country folks with no legal knowledge. Easily intimidated. Mom Olivia scurried to find a pen, hastily signing the worthless document. These uneducated folks wouldn't realize it held no legal power. But the symbolic gesture should keep them off my back. While grocery shopping with Uncle Liam, I bought a lottery ticket on a whim. When it turned out to be a $10 million jackpot, the news spread through our village like wildfire. Soon, every distant relative came crawling, including my former family. Mom Olivia's eyes were bloodshot, hair streaked with premature gray. Dad Ed and Stella looked equally haggard. Sylvia, we heard about your windfall. Mom simpered. Aunt Olivia blocked the doorway. What's that got to do with you? We're family. Dad Ed shouted, finger jabbing the air until teenage Ryan Song stormed in from cram school. The 6'2" basketball star slapped Dad's hand away. Point that finger again. I'll break it. I leaned against the doorframe, amused. The money's mine. Want to beg properly? Their masks slipped instantly. Heartless wretch. You should have given us the money immediately. Stella declared grandly. Hand it over and maybe we'll let you come home. Home? I laughed until tears came. You mean the pigsty where I slept under moldy blankets? Besides, I glanced meaningfully at Dad Ed. We're not even sure about that blood relation. Are we? Mom Olivia turned ghost white, trembling as she hissed. Keep your damn money then. The slam of our front door echoed their ruined schemes. She dragged the two reluctant people away. I gave all the money to Uncle Ed, letting the Johnson family purchase supplies for the new house in the city. Ryan and I would move there after finishing our college entrance exams. When we finally completed the exams, an unprecedented sense of relief washed over us. Uncle Ed hired several moving trucks. Neighbors from all around came to join the commotion. Wearing the new dress Aunt Olivia bought me, I stood under a tree with Ryan eating popsicles. They moved the furniture first, leaving the beds behind since the new place wasn't ready yet. Stella had been forced by her mother to work odd jobs. She walked over looking sallow and exhausted, initially alarmed by the crowd until learning we were moving. Her face instantly twisted with resentment. The neighbors who'd always disliked her seized the chance to mock her. Fortunes change fast, just look how these two girls swapped places in mere months. Compare Sylvia's outfit to Stella's rags. Worlds apart. I smiled faintly. Mom had always been the laziest, never lifting a finger for chores. I used to hand wash everyone's clothes. After I left, Stella's garments went unwashed since she refused to do it herself, wearing them dirty instead. She stormed up to me, demanding, "Take that dress off." I kept my voice calm. "What's your problem? Everything you own is mine." She shrieked. "You don't deserve to wear nice things." Restraining an angry Ryan, I chuckled. What if I refuse? Then nobody gets it. She lunged to rip my dress, scattering fabric scraps everywhere. What a shame, I sighed, examining the ruined garment. Deserved it. Stella sneered before stalking off. As her figure retreated, I pulled a phone from my pocket and dialed. Police arrived within minutes. Pointing at the security camera, I explained, someone destroyed my $28,000 dress. I have the receipt. Officers marched to Stella's house followed by half the neighborhood. Her mother, my former stepmom, answered the door sleepily before freezing at the crowd. Though usually a loudmouth, she shriveled before authority. Why, your daughter destroyed property worth $28,000. An officer stated. Compensate privately or face charges. The woman's eyes bulged. She dragged Stella out by the ear, the girl already sobbing from whatever beating she'd received indoors. She's my daughter, the woman blustered. Sisters quarrel sometimes. They kicked me out months ago. I countered. This dress was Aunt Olivia's gift. Destruction of property is illegal. The officer snapped. The woman collapsed dramatically on the ground. I raised this ungrateful brat. Now she sends cops after her own flesh and blood. Not a single neighbor stepped forward to support her usual theatrics. As officers grew impatient, Stella clung to their legs screaming, I didn't do anything wrong. $28,000 qualifies as felony vandalism. Kneeling beside her, I smiled sweetly. If you can't pay now, I'll accept an IOU. Her hate-filled glare could have melted steel. But all I felt was icy satisfaction. Sign an IOU? In your dreams. Mom's eyes lit up as she kicked Stella. Go draft the IOU right now. I won't. Mom slapped her across the face. Do it or not. This was Stella's first time being hit, usually I, Sylvia, had been the one taking those blows for her. The officer intervened. Enough. If only someone had stopped them when they'd beaten me half to death. Maybe I wouldn't hate them so much. My body still carried every scar from Mom dragging me into rooms to vent her frustrations. From Dad. Ed. Drunken belt whippings after liquor binges. In the end, Stella wrote the IOU. Their reputation in the village was ruined everywhere they went. People whispered behind their backs. I, Sylvia, became the top-scoring graduate. Ryan aced his exams too. Our phones rang non-stop with calls from Ivy League admissions while the school band paraded to my doorstep. Uncle and Auntie had woken me at dawn to get dressed up. Genuinely thrilled for me. Meanwhile, another drama unfolded in the village. Stella's biological father showed up. By the time we arrived, Ed had nearly beaten Mom to death. She lay paralyzed on the ground. The man gripped Stella's arm, her face swollen from slaps, hair disheveled. Please let me go. Stella begged through tears. I don't know you. My sister, Sylvia, will pay you anything? Mom spotted me and laughed hysterically. Beat me all you want. Bastard. Sylvia's your real daughter. But you protected Stella instead, abused her. Hurt her. Now look at you. Her cackle turned manic. You raped me to have her, this is your karma. The truth punched through me, her hatred had roots. Auntie later told me my parents had been divorcing when they discovered Mom's pregnancy. Enough. Ed snapped, glaring at me with something like pity before collapsing. The biological father locked eyes with me. I nodded, stepping aside to transfer the final payment. I'd investigated him when he first came for Stella, confirmed he was her real dad. A gambler who'd refused to marry Mom properly. She'd found Ed to be her safety net. The man had made a deal with me, banking on Stella's practice test scores to win scholarship money. But when she barely scraped passing grades, he sold her to an old bachelor in the next village. Ed suffered cardiac arrest, surviving as a vegetable. Mom went mad, wandering the village until they chased her out. I'd always said this family would collapse without me. My previous life repaid their parental debt, this ending was their just deserts. Uncle and Auntie now run a thriving shop in town. Ryan and I left for college together. The village's whispers fading behind us.